So review day A. So we're going to have 3 days of review. It is 1/14/19. Okay, so on number 1, I'm going to multiply this times this, this times this, this times this. Make yourself a little note. We're going to add exponents. When we multiply, we add exponents. So I'm going to go 12. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to get 12 x squared y to the third, because I'm adding exponents. I'm multiplying the coefficients, adding the exponents, plus 18 x cubed y squared minus 6 x y cubed. That's my answer. Okay, number 2, we're still going to add exponents because we're multiplying, okay? So we're going to multiply the 3x here, 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 and we'll take the -1 and multiply it through also. So first, 15x to the third plus 9x squared minus 15x. Then we'll bring the -1 times these 3 as well. I'll get a -5x squared. I like to line them up, so I'll put it there, -5x squared minus 3x. I like to line them up, plus 5. I line them up because when I add them, I've got like terms already together. And by the way, if I get going too fast, will you tell me, please? Okay. 15x to the third plus 4x squared minus 18x plus 5. I'm going to circle my answers and highlight them, okay? There we go. Answer. Answer. There you go. I'll just highlight the answers, okay? Now, number 3 is different. We're going to add. Don't add exponents. Little note. Don't add exponents. Just combine like terms. Okay? X squareds go with x squareds. X's go with x's, and constants go with constants. We'll have a 8x squared minus 11x minus 6. That's it. This easy? Answer. Number 4. Again, if I get going too fast, tell me, okay? We could subtract, but I'm gonna just play it safe. I'm gonna bring my negative through.
What do we do with the exponents?
We don't add them because when we're combining terms, we don't add exponents, okay? So I'm gonna first rewrite this as a -4x squared positive 3x minus 10. So bring the negative through first. That's just makes it so I don't mess up the negatives. So then we're just going to combine terms. We're going to put them all together. X squared with x squared, it's going to be a -1x squared minus 5x minus 13. That's it. Okay. Again, if you get stuck, ask me, okay? This is your time to learn. I already know this. I want you to learn this, okay? Factor. Okay, so this is when you have a number in front, you've got to be a little bit careful. The only way I can make a 2x squared is with a 2x and an x. So I'm going to do my parentheses. Okay? I know for sure that what I need is a 2x and an x. It's the only way I'm going to get a 2x squared, okay? Now the 5, it's got to be a 5 and 1, but I got to be careful where I put it. I'm going to put the 5 here and the 1 here, and I'm going to show you why. I do my double smiley. I need to make the 11. I need the 11, so if I check my double smiley, I've got a 10 and a 1, which will make 11, but I need a negative, okay? Here's my 10 with my double smiley and my 1x. If I make them both negative, I'll get a -10x minus 1x, which do make the 11, so that is factored correctly. Okay. Now number 6, we have to write these two formulas down. So there's two formulas I'm going to write down. Okay, one is this one. Okay, and I'll try and put these formulas up here for 6. I'm going to write my a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared. Or I'm going to use this formula, a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. The one I'm going to use is the minus because this one's got the minus, so I'm going to use this formula right now. This is the formula I want to use. So, a and b. Well, this has to do with factoring perfect cubes. Okay, so what I've got to do is make cubes. So I'm going to rewrite this as x cubed, x times x, and a 2 cubed, because 2 times 2 times 2. So, it's not that hard now, because I'm just going to replace a's and b's with x's and 2's. Say it again. In my formula, I'm going to replace a's and b's with x's and 2's. So we're going to let a is going to be my x, and my b is going to be my 2, and I'm just going to plug those values into a and b. So my answer is going to be a minus b, or x minus 2, a squared, or x squared, plus ab. So multiply x and 2 makes it 2x, plus b squared. B is 2, 2 squared is 4. Okay, we did that a long time ago. That's my answer. All right. Thumbs up. Okay. Make sure those are on your notes, okay? 7. All right. First, I'm going to common factor. I'm going to common factor first. And when I look at it, okay, what do they have in common? Well, they both have a multiple of 3. They both can multiple of 3, and they both have an x in common. So I'm going to common factor out of 3x. Okay. So if I take out a 3x, what's left over? So if I take out a 3x out of the first term, I'd just be left with an x squared. Minus 3 goes into 75 25 times. Okay, now if you're a little stuck, you can always go backwards and check, right? You can say, okay, well, let's go back and check. 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. 3x times 25 is 75. Okay, now this can be factored again. So we're going to do it again. So I keep the 3x there, and this is going to be an x plus 5, x minus 5 will factor. That's my answer. All right, scooting it over.
Complete the factor all the way to the end.
Yeah, all the way to the end. Yeah, completely. Otherwise, I'll take half off. Okay. All right, 4 terms, pair them up. 4 terms, do it by grouping. 4 terms, group up the first 2 and then the second 2. So what I'm doing is put these 2 terms together and these 2 terms together. Okay, 4 terms, do it by grouping. Okay, so let's first just look at the first 2 terms. What do they have in common? Multiple of 4 and an x. Okay, so they have a 4 and an x in common. Okay, so if I take out the 4x, I'd be left with a 5xy plus 4. Okay, so I common factor out my 4x. Now, my second terms, the only thing they have in common is a multiple of 3. So they have a multiple of 3, so I'll take out a 3 plus 3. And if I common factor out a 3, I'd be left with a 5xy plus 4. Okay, this is kind of nice because now I can look at the 2 groups, and the 2 groups have something in common. So the 2 groups have a parentheses, 5xy plus 4. So let's common factor out what they have in common. They've got these 2 in common, so let's common factor out a 5xy plus 4. Now when I take it out, I like to cross it out so that way I don't make a mistake. Okay, take that out. What's left over? 4x plus 3. And that's my answer.
Wow.
We can do that, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay, we've learned a lot. Okay, you guys ready to turn the page?
Yeah, Brian.
Brian's good. All right. All right, number 9. So it's going to be an x squared, but we're going to change it. We're going to take it and move it 5 units to the left. So, remember the dance? Anything done left or right is in the inside but the opposite. Remember that? Remember the silly little dance? So if we do left or right, Devin, I know you're falling asleep on me, aren't you? Gotta wake you up with a little dance, okay? Where am I going? Okay, remember the little dance? So I'm going to say, okay, g of x is equal to parentheses x plus, because it's the opposite, plus 5 squared, because it's the opposite of the inside, right? And then 2 units up, plus 2. That's it. That's taking my parabola. We're going to move our parabola back 5, up 2. That's my new equation. All right, number 10. Find the zeros. I'm going to factor mini equations. So I'm going to factor, and then I'm going to do my mini equations. X squared, 2 answers. X squared, 2 answers. X cubed, 3 answers. X to the 4th, 4 answers. Okay. So first of all, number 10, let's factor. Okay, I can factor this pretty easily. X. How about 4 and 6? You okay with 4 and 6 for 24? 4 and 6 plus 4 plus 6, but that's not the answer because we have to do our mini equations. We have an equal sign. It says solve, right? So okay, I can do that. I can go x plus 4 equals 0, x plus 6 equals 0. If I solve, I go minus 4, minus 4. One answer is x equals negative 4. Minus 6, the other is x equals negative 6. Okay? Those two are my zeros. Oh, that's my daughter. Everybody has their own little signal. Okay, 11. So the thing about 11, if I go back and look at 10, we got to make it equal to 0, okay? Yeah. So let's make it equal to 0. So I'm going to bring the 28 back over. So the only way I can move 28 over is to subtract it. Does that make sense? So if I subtract the 28, I'll bring it over. So I have a 2x squared minus, I'll make it a 1x, might make it easy, minus 28 equals 0, okay? So now it's a trinomial, and I'm going to factor. Okay, parentheses equals 0. I will. All right, 2x and x. That's the only way I can get a 2x squared, right? 2x and x, the only way I can get a 2x squared. And now 28, I'm thinking 4 and 7. Now I got to check my double smiley. But if I put the 4 here and the 7 here, let's see how that's going to do it. Okay, I'm just going to check it. 8, see the 8? 8 and a 7 could make a 1 if it was a negative 8 and a positive 7. If you're unsure, check your double smiley, okay? There's my positive 7. There's my negative 8, right? Okay, there's my negative 8x. Positive 7x, which does make negative 1x. Of course, we're not done. We've got to have our mini equations, okay? So, we're going to set, and I might have to work up here because I'm running out of room. I'm going to set my 2x plus 7 equal to 0 and my x minus 4 equal to 0. I'm just running out of room, so I'll do the work up here, okay? Minus 7, 2x equals negative 7. Sorry, Lauren, I'm not working down. Divide. One answer is x equals negative 7 over 2. That's one of my zeros. And the other is just plus 4, x equals 4, okay? So I just solved this problem. Went minus 7 divided by 2. Yeah. How am I doing? Am I going too fast or am I okay?
Oh, that's easy, okay.
Yeah. Okay, number 12. X to the 4th, 4 answers. Okay, I'm going to warn you. I'm going to have an I answer. We're going to get some I answers. Okay, before we start this, let's real quickly go back. We know the square root of -1 is I. Okay, I'm just going to put that there, okay? Everybody agree with that? Remember that? So we're going to get an I answer on this one, but I'm going to show you how we're going to get an I answer. So I'm going to factor first. X squared plus 4, x squared minus 4 equals 0. Okay? Okay, many equations of an x squared plus 4 equals 0 and an x squared minus 4 equals 0. Okay? How am I doing? Does that make sense so far? So let's solve. Minus 4, I'll have an x squared equals -4. Now here's where I'm going to get my I. And I'll wait for you. I'm going to get my I right here because I'm going to take the square root. I'm going to go square root, but I have to take square root of a negative number, right? So if I square root to solve it, and square root, I have to take the square root of a negative number, which you can't take the square root of a negative number. So square root of 4 is 2, right? But it's 2i. However, how many answers should I have? I need 2 answers, right? It's plus or minus. I need 2 answers. So I'm going to go plus or minus 2i. I've got to have 2 answers. I get a positive 2i and a negative 2i, okay? Okay, I need 2 more answers. 2 more answers from over here. Yep, plus 4, x squared equals 4. I'm going to square root it, but square root of 4 is easy. Square root of 4 is just 2, just plain old 2. But we need 2 answers. We'll talk about that in a second. Square root. So square root of 4 is 2. So we get x equals 2, but Bruce is right. There's 2 answers, so we got to have a plus or minus 2.
Why does it always have to be 2 answers?
Because of the x squared. And another reason, I'll show you real quickly. And I'll scoot to the board real quick, even though I'm recording. Okay, check it out. You'll totally get it. Okay, I know you will. Okay, right here. X squared equals 4. Okay, you with me? How about if I put 2 in here? What's 2 squared? Good. That's one answer. What about -2?
Oh, it's 74.
Yeah. So both answers work, don't they? They both answers work. So we're going to take both, which gives us the 2 answers, right? I knew you'd get it. All right. Now, number 13. How many answers?
3.
And then we will have an I answer. I'll show you. So first step, let's common factor out the x. X squared plus 9. How am I doing? Okay. So, mini equations. One is just x equals 0. Okay, that one's done, right? I got a mini equation, x equals 0. That one's done. The second one is to take the x squared plus 9 and set that equal to 0, okay? I'm going to solve. I'm going to go minus 9, x squared equals -9, right? Square root, but I'm going to take the square root of a negative number. Going to have an I, right? Square root of a negative, you can't do square root of a negative number, so I'm going to have an I. So square root of 9 is 3. So I'm going to have x is equal to plus or minus 3i. Okay, how's that? Okay, 14, easiest problem of all. Honest, watch. These are 3 answers that came from many equations. The way I got the 4 is from an x minus 4 would give me an answer of 4, right? The way I got a -3 is from an x plus 3 would give me an answer of -3. And the way I'd get the 1 is from an x minus 1. So, p of x, there's my answer. I created an equation, a polynomial, with these 3 answers. You do not need to multiply it out, okay? And please don't, because if you make a mistake, then you blow it and you miss it, okay? Just leave it in that form. That's a great form. It's correct, okay? Almost done, you guys. Almost done. How am I doing? I'm going slowly enough?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You guys know how to do this. Ready? 3. I'm going to change this to the square root of 9, square root of 2, and I'm going to take half my exponent. Half. So I'm going to write that as an x to the 4th. Okay? Half my exponent, right? 3 square root of 9 is 3 square root of 2 times x to the 4th. Okay, I'm going to tidy it up. 3 times 3 is 9 x to the 4th times the square root of 2. Okay, 16. You ready? Fix the problem with the problem, right? Okay, multiply by square root of 5, square root of 5. We're going to have 3 square roots of 5 over square root of 25, which is plain old 5. There's my answer. Cube root. What times what times what makes 8? 2. So the cube root of 8 is 2, and we're going to take a third. Because we're going to go by cube roots, we're going to take a third of that. We're divide the x by 3, so we get an x to the 4th. And that is all. So what hopefully you're seeing is that none of the problems on this are tricky. They're not the hard ones, they're just the basic ones, right? And we should know them, okay? So